Hi everybody, welcome to Trendy Trading. My name's Jonathan. We're going to get started here with our broad market analysis. I'll be going over the SPYs, the Qs, DIA, IWM, gold, the dollar, and then looking at the VIX and my overall sentiment. Now in these charts, again, I'm using the neutral strategy, which I feel is one of the easiest strategies to follow. I'm using Fibonacci's, extension Fibonacci, supply and demand. And then I'm using a little bit of proprietary scripts and also some EMAs. Pretty straightforward. If you do not know how to trade the neutral strategy, please go back to some of my previous videos that are right there on YouTube at Trendy Trading, and they will teach you how I like to trade these. Let's go ahead and get started with the SPY. So first thing I'm going to tell you about is we have the weekly on the left, and then on the right hand side we have the daily. On the weekly, we are currently working on a continuation candle to the upside. I do have a buy signal here. Notice that we have this pink level here. This is called the trendy edge. Anytime price is under there, we're looking for it to reject. Once it pushes over, we're looking for this area to be support. So notice here on my lower neutral box, there's a red line here. Basically, this needs to hold. If it cannot hold, we could see price moving down into the 469, 68, 66 level before we find buyers. Any line to the downside is support until proven otherwise. We are an extremely bullish trend, so I would expect these lines to go bid, meaning I would expect buyers to show up at those lines. To the upside, I want you to take a look at this. Another great video that I just pushed out to our YouTube channel is talking about topping wicks. This is a topping wick, and it's telling me that there's selling pressure here, so be careful. I'm not saying we can't take trades to the upside, but what I am saying is you want to be looking at taking profits more, I would say, quickly rather than sitting and hoping. So again, notice that my levels to the upside are pretty close as well. I expect it to be tight, but a little volatile going into the new year. Targets are annotated to the upside and downside. Again, overall, I'm extremely bullish. My support level is around 471.65, and again, my go level, as in I'm looking to go long, is above 475.67. Let's go ahead and move on into the Qs. These are your Qs, again, weekly on the left, and on the right hand side we have the daily. Left hand side we have a topping wick just like the SPY. Overall, my monthly is neutral, my yearly bullish, weekly extremely bullish. Therefore, because we have the topping wick, again, be careful. I do see selling pressure in here. Notice that our green and red lines, they're annotated here, 401.55 by 396.16. Targets to the upside are resistance until proven otherwise. Targets to the downside are support until otherwise. Please annotate these targets. Please go back and watch the last videos if you're not sure how to trade the neutral strategy. Matter of fact, I will be doing a quick video, probably somewhere between 3 and 5 minutes, on how to trade this. And we'll go ahead and upload it to the YouTube channel just to make it easy and as a reference point for you to trade these. Over here on the daily, I want to point out a couple things. We had several days down. We had topping wicks, a lot of selling pressure, but notice where we stopped. We stopped right into the 9 EMA on the daily. Notice right here we got ourselves a little bounce, okay? So we did pull into an area where we could see a slight or potential move up tonight in the futures. I will be there paying attention, looking to possibly trade the futures in the NASDAQ. Overall, my sentiment here is caution to the upside because of the selling pressure, but also it looks very tight, and I would expect buyers to come in around the 394, 391 area. At the end of the day, I'm just trading my neutral strategy. I'll be looking to go long over the green line and or short underneath the red line, taking profits quickly. Let's go ahead and go into the DIA, which is called also the Diamond or the Dow Jones, okay? Notice price not only came into the lower trendy edge and went bid. This is exactly what we expected to do. When price moves down into the lower trendy edge, we look for support. When prices move up into the upper edge, we look for it to be resistance. Again, this is a weekly chart on the left, and on the right hand side we have the daily. Let's go ahead and start with the weekly. First off, my first impression is this looks really nice. We came up, we made a new all-time high, and then we just kind of stalled here. If price starts to break over that 364.08, I'm looking for targets into 364.84. Notice that it's very close. Again, we have topping wicks, so I want to be taking profits quickly. Then after that, we're looking for 366 and a possible all-time high into 368.34. If for some reason we break below the 360.41, I'm looking for 358.98. I want you to pay attention to all of these charts. If we start breaking down, you need to understand where your 9 EMA is on your weekly and your daily charts over here on the right hand side. Notice I put a little bubble around this because we're very close to it. Just like the Qs, if the DIA were to break down a little bit into tonight's open or tomorrow morning, just be cautious because we could be opening up into a support level. This is why I love using the neutral strategy. I don't want to go short here, okay? Matter of fact, I'm looking for a bounce. If for some reason we don't bounce, we start to break down below 360.41, then sure, we could get a move down into 358.98, 357.54, and so forth. Overall, though, my sentiment here is extremely bullish, but please take caution of the upper topping wick. Again, I have a video, very short video. I think it's just around 4 minutes or so. I encourage you to go to Trendy Trading at YouTube and watch that video. Let's go ahead and go into IWM here. Same thing, we have our targets annotated to the upside and downside. Notice this one's a little bit different. The first thing you see is this big red banner and then a green banner. So in my opinion, this is actually setting up to be the best risk to reward scenario here, especially if we can start rounding out and breaking above this cloud. Notice we are rounding out. Notice that the cloud is here. See this topping wick? Again, selling pressure. Notice that we make a lower high from this wick, and we're just, again, because of the topping wicks, taking note and to be cautious. I love the rounding bottom here, and as long as this 219 can hold, I believe we do start to break out to potentially 240 and 241. We talked about this in last week's broad market analysis. Notice the targets here, and again, everything across the board is the same. Targets to the upside are resistance until proven otherwise, and targets to the downside are support until proven otherwise. Over here on the daily, not much to see except for, again, continued topping wicks. A lot of selling pressure in here. It is in the cloud on the weekly and the daily, and anytime price is in the cloud, look for it to be a more difficult trade. Also look to take profits quickly rather than just kind of sitting, because when you're in the cloud, it's just really turbulent, and you could see that prices drift sideways to down and or kill premium, especially in options. Let's go ahead and move on to gold. Let's take a look at the gold. Same thing, weekly and a daily. Please pay attention here, as I was bullish last week, and you can see that we do have this gap fill potentially into the 172-ish area. My first target here, this is a new blueprint. You could go back to last week's video and watch that just to see how things reacted. But if we can break over the 171.09, we could see price into 172.16 and possibly 172.56. I would expect to pull back from there. Okay, a little bit of sideways action, for a couple days, and then a move higher into the 173.50 by 174 area. Potential move is 175.56. If price pulls back, I would be looking for buyers to step in at or around 169.30 by 168.80. Notice here on the daily, we have nice continuation, 3 candles up. So again, it's okay if we just kind of pop and then go inside for a day or two, just to kind of reset and let this current move up digest a little bit, okay? All right, so the next thing I'm going to be looking at is going to be the dollar. This is the DXY. I did not change the blueprint on this. Why is this important? Because in most cases I say, Please understand that in most cases. When the dollar pulls, the market continues to melt up in most cases. Notice that the dollar came down on the weekly into the 9 EMA. Okay, now I do not trade this. I use it as an instrument to overall gauge the market. Now we are in an area where the dollar could bounce. Really, what I'd like to see is that the dollar break down under 95.49.8, and if it does, I'm looking for 95 and so forth. I said last week and the week before that we were coming into the trendy edge, and I did expect it to reject, and that's exactly what it did. The market pretty much was sideways last week, and so it didn't give us a whole lot, and I am looking forward for those moves this week. But again, I think they're going to be small, and it could continue to be tight, as I do believe traders are still on vacation, and it may not get as trendy as you want it to be quite yet. Let's go ahead and move on into our next one here, which is the skew. This is very important for me. I'm only paying attention to the weekly, okay? So please do not pay attention over here on the right-hand side. And you can see that I annotate in these areas on the downside and the upside. And basically what this is saying is that your hedge funds are getting concerned, or they're not concerned. And we're more in the region or higher on the curve where your hedge funds start to get a little bit concerned. And they're saying, hey guys, risk is off a little bit here. Or sorry, risk is on or risk is off. Okay, see down here, risk is on. This is where we're looking at buying calls. And as we start to push up here in a bullish market, I will say that what we're looking for here is as that skew rises, we're looking at taking profits quickly, and we're just being vigilant and aware and bringing those stops up and understanding that things are getting a little overbought. Okay, so just please keep that in mind. This is saying yellow flag, definitely caution coming into this week. All right, next thing I'm going to look at is the VIX. This one I don't want to go into too much here, but I'm cautious over the 20.35 level. We're not quite there. We're in the box. That's what I'm going to call it for 2 weeks now. Typically 2.5 weeks, we start to see volatility. Notice that the trendy edge stopped the VIX as well. But we're lower on the curve and close to the trendy edges, so therefore I do expect a little bit of volatility coming into the first couple days here into January. Let's go ahead and move on. So my overall sentiment, again, I want everybody to understand I am a bull by nature, have been for several years, as I'm sure many of you are. But I am a if this then that trader. I'm 100% technicals. I use my own proprietary indicators here that identify supply and demand, resistance and support, and they really help me to stay on the right side of the trade. I'm showing you this broad market analysis because it works very, very well. Matter of fact, I keep a log of all the charts I put out every week, and I could tell you this, they win a lot more than they lose. So please pay attention to the levels. If you have any questions, let me know. Reach out to me either on Twitter at TrendyJon, TR3NDYJON, or you can also come to our website and check us out there, and also email us at trendytrading.co. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate all of you. Okay. And if you want to join this community of amazing traders, please check out the link in the descriptions below for our end of year membership sale, which I will tell you should be ending tonight. All right. So anyways, you guys have a great one. Have a great day. I can't wait to trade with you. As a PS to everyone, we will be looking at potentially doing once a week where you trade with me live. So I will be looking forward to that. Have a nice day. Have a nice night. We'll see you tomorrow. Can't wait to trade with you.